The sun hit glass like spotlight glare. He laughed out loud just over there. His voice had stretched across the field and struck me more than it should yield. For one short beat I swore it bent right toward me, my heart has bent. I straightened fast, prepared to wave, as if the air could still behave. But then he turned and called a name, not mine, not close, yet just the same. He spread off arms wide and free towards someone else who wasn't me. I stood in step, a scene erased, while wind rewound by sudden haste. The warmth I claimed without a thread just vanished, left to blush instead. I thought he saw me from afar, that laugh, that tone, just who you are. But names are sharp when they're not yours, they slam like unexpected doors. I played a line he never cast, while he moved on incredibly fast. He wasn't wrong, he wasn't cruel, just real, and I was just a fool. His joy lit up the sky so clean, like someone pressed delete on green. While I still held my silent cue, he ran straight past what I once knew. They spun in slow-mo storybook while I rehearsed the turn, the look. But fairy tales don't share their scripts to background rules with silent lips. I thought he saw me from afar, that laugh, that tone, just who you are. But names are sharp when they're not yours, they slam like unexpected doors. I played a line he never cast, while he moved on incredibly fast. He wasn't wrong, he wasn't cruel, just real, and I was just a fool. Maybe I wanted too much grace in echoes that were out of place. I traced a dream from broken tone and tried to call it all my own. But voices land where they belong, no matter how I write the song. So I'll rewrite the script I played and stop confusing light with shade. I thought he saw me, no, I hoped. That laugh, that glance, the way he choked. But now I hear it loud and true, that joy was meant for someone new. Still I walked on with steady pace, though tears had queued behind my face. One step ahead, one truth unspun. He waved to someone, I waved to none. I thought he saw me, that was wrong, but still I made it into song. A moment built from half a sound that cracked when feet hit different ground. But next time I won't miss red light, I'll hold my steps, not chase delight. He ran ahead and that's okay, I've got my own line anyway. He passed it over like a charm, thought this song would suit your calm. A playlist with a scribbled name, no hearts, no notes, just subtle flame. I hit the play with cautious grace as headphones sealed me into place. The melody was soft and wide, but something deeper slipped inside. A lyric landed like a stone, a name I swore I should have known. Not mine, not quite, but far too near. It whispered sharp into my ear. I paused and played, reversed, rewound, and still her name would loop around. Not said outright, but in the rhyme, as if the bridge might spell her depth. She's laced in metaphors and chords while I decode his subtle swords. He said it's just a vibe I felt, but I could feel where lyrics melt. They knew each note, they knew her skin. Well, I was just the one who'd been. He said it fits you, gentle, sweet, but now I'm tangled in deceit. A voice inside that sings to clear the name he wished that he could hear. I smiled as if I couldn't tell, but every beat rang like a bell. If this was meant to feel like mine, why does her shadow cross the line? I wish I hadn't pressed the play. I wish I threw the list away. But songs can hold what words conceal and give away what hearts won't feel. So now I dance with half a grin while melodies betray my skin. And though he says I made this for you, the truth plays louder than he knew. He said this suits you soft and proud, but I could feel her in the sound. Each harmony a hidden thread, each chorus carved in things unsaid. Still I pretend the notes were pure and act like I was always sure. But silence screams between each track and keeps her name from turning back. He said it's yours but played her song, and now I hum it all day long. Not mine, not right, yet stuck on loop. A coded truth I can't recoup. I'll keep the file, I'll keep the beat, but skip the parts that taste too sweet. The soundtrack plays a love misread, where I'm the chorus, she's the thread. I spoke, he nodded, quick, polite, but then she said it and he lit bright. I carved the shape, she traced the line, and he called her some grand design. I shouldn't care, I shouldn't flinch, but silence shrinks you inch by inch. He clapped for truth he'd heard before, but not from me, that hurt me more. Treasure lined in perfect square, notes in hand I met his stare. Raised my voice not too intense, words like puzzle pieces dense. He nodded once, a simple cue. No sparks, no waves, no real debut. Still I held that quiet nod, like something blessed, like something odd. Then she spoke up, same idea, same phrases, just a touch more clear. He laughed a bit, clapped once or two, like her words split the sky in two. The room lit up, the moment crowned, while I sang quiet, lost in sound. Was it her tone, her polished frame, or did my voice just miss the flame? I spoke, he nodded, quick, polite, but then she said it and he lit bright. I carved the shape, she traced the line, and he called her some grand design. I shouldn't care, I shouldn't flinch, but silence shrinks you inch by inch. He clapped for truth he'd heard before, but not from me, that hurt me more. I bit my pen and drew the date while they discussed what made things great. I faded back, my voice on mute, while they passed praise like substitute. She looked at him and he looked back, while I traced gaps in what I lack. It wasn't wrong, it wasn't cruel, but still I felt the silent rule. I spoke, he nodded, quick, polite, but then she said it and he lit bright. I carved the shape, she traced the line, and he called her some grand design. I shouldn't care, I shouldn't flinch, but silence shrinks you inch by inch. He clapped for truth he'd heard before, but not from me, that hurt me more. Was it the way she tilted tone? Was I too sharp, too much alone? I replayed every word I said, till all that's left was in my head. I didn't want a standing cheer, just not to feel erased right here. To be the voice that cracked the wall, not just a whisper in the hall. applause. On concrete steps, backpacks hung like quiet debts. The sky was pink with folding light, the kind that hides what's not quite right. He waved a hand, his tone was low. See you tomorrow, just like so. But something in the way it fell made every syllable repel. It wasn't wrong, it wasn't rude, it didn't change the afternoon's mood. Yet still I flinched just half a beat, like missing stairs beneath my feet. He didn't pause, just turned his way, as if his words weren't meant to stay. Not stamped for me, not signed or sealed, just echo words the hallways yield. He said tomorrow like it's free, but not the kind that waits for me. Just autopilot passing by like clouds that leave without goodbye. And I kept walking, heels on fire, to outpace hope and false desire. I didn't turn, I didn't speak, just chased the air that felt too weak. I used to think those words could glow, but now they barely even show. Like chalk erased before it dries, or answers lost in quiet lies. The hallway stretched a moving frame, and I was just a nameless name. He looked ahead while I looked back at all the warmth that I now lack. He said tomorrow like it's free, but not the kind that waits for me. Just autopilot passing by like clouds that leave without goodbye. And I kept walking, heels on fire, to outpace hope and false desire. I didn't turn, I didn't speak, just chased the air that felt too weak. If he meant it, if he knew, would I still feel this split in two? Or was it me who broke the thread with dreams I never really said? I won't rewind, I won't confess, but I still walk with heaviness, because tomorrow should be bright, not blur into the edge of night. He said tomorrow light and thin, a string of letters tossed in wind, but I received it like a stone, like proof I'm walking this alone. And though I smiled to match the pace, my heartbeat blurred the parking space. The echo rang, but not for me, not like I hoped it used to be. He said tomorrow nice and clear, but left no thread to pull me near. So I sped up, not just to flee, but to outrun what couldn't be. No need for stairs, no backward glance, I walked away from circumstance. His voice behind my path ahead, one word that spoke what wasn't said. The whistle blew, the lineup stalled, uneven pairs, attendance called. Then teacher's voice like fate's decree, you and you'll work with he. My heartbeat tripped, my grip went slack, as if the gym turned midnight black. I whispered high, my throat unsure. stood and how we stared, but I was there and he was too, and only one of us felt new. If nerves could speak, they'd beg, they'd plead for him to look and maybe read the trembling in my offered word. A nice to meet he never heard. It's just a drill, just passing time, but I kept slipping off the rhyme. He stood composed like sports require, while I was drowning under fire. And though we moved in sync and turn, I was the only one to burn. He played the part, the skill, the role, while I rewrote my silent goal. It's just a game, but not for me. It was a frame I longed to be. He touched the ball, I touched his mark, but only I was feeling marked. Still I kept pace, still met his throw, pretending he would never know. The teamwork stamped across my skin was just me trying not to spin. Between two trains I can't slide. Steel rails hum, the platform shakes. A late bell rings, the silence breaks. I spot you on the other side. 2 seconds left and shifting tide. You're leaning by the closing door. Your gaze sweeps past the waiting floor. I lift my hand, a small brave try, but you look down and scroll right by. My fingers froze midair in place, a wave that never met your face. The crowd moved on, the train exhaled, and all my logic softly failed. I laughed it off or tried to fake, pretending it was no heartbreak. But something sharp beneath my skin still rings from where the touch had been. I almost waved, I almost spoke, but you were locked in glowing smoke. A tiny screen stole all my light and left me stranded out of sight. One glance away, a choice so small, it somehow made me feel so small. Our signals missed, our wires crossed, 2 trains apart, connection The moment passed, your train was gone. I watched the tracks like something wrong, like subtitles that came too late, like fate forgot to sync with fate. Maybe you never even knew the hand I raised was meant for you. You never meant to break the thread, but silence echoed in its stead. I almost waved, I almost spoke, but you were locked in glowing smoke. A tiny screen stole all my light and left me stranded out of sight. One glance away, a choice so small, it somehow made me feel so small. Our signals missed, our wires crossed, 2 trains apart, connection lost. It's funny how one look can bruise, how not reacting makes us lose. I wanted nothing grand or loud, just to be seen among the crowd. A haze smile, that fleeting spark, but I dissolved before the mark. And though the station stays the same, I ride alone, uncalled by name. I almost waved, I almost tried, but I was cut before the ride. You never saw the shift in me, the hope I hung so carefully. Just one more glance and you might know, but now I bore with eyes kept low. One station late, one beat to toss, between 2 trains, connection lost. I almost waved, I almost shone, but you looked down and I stood alone. The distance wasn't feet or and silver screens. I lit up fast, my words in spin, describing every twist and grin. My favorite part I told with pride, that moment where the stars collide. He smiled and said, yeah, that one too. Long Beach and loves that moment too. The reel inside began to slow. My voice went mute, my face let go. I nodded once and bit my tongue, as if our scene was left unsung. It wasn't mean, it wasn't cruel, just one miscue, just one slipped rule. But in my chest the curtains dropped, the soundtrack paused, the colors stopped. The film I played inside my mind just vanished when he crossed the line. He didn't see the way I shine when our two worlds had seemed aligned. Instead he brought a shadow in, and now I can't begin again. That perfect frame we almost had was dubbed with her, and now it's sad. Popcorn joy turned hollow fast, like tailored from a different cast. He spoke like she was part of us, while I rewound in quiet hush. Great taste, I mumbled, looked away, like plot lines don't just end fray. The hero missed the cue to see this wasn't just a DVD. The film I played inside my mind just vanished when he crossed the line. He didn't see the way I shine when our two worlds had seemed aligned. Instead he brought a shadow in, and now I can't begin again. That perfect frame we almost had was stuck with her, and now it's sad. I wasn't asking for a scene where everything turned soft and clean. Just wanted him to really hear the way I care when he is near. But when he said her name that way, it turned our dialogue to gray. And though the reel kept spinning through, it played a role that lost its cue. The film I played, it fades to black. No score, no line, no turning back. He kept on talking nowhere while I rewrote my script midair. And though I laughed and said me too, it sounded like a blooper cue, as if the credits rolled too fast and left my part inside the past. The film I played was just for two, but now it's her that stars with you. And though I try to keep the pace, the camera cut me out of place. No spotlight left, no final frame, just silent echoes of my name. So I'll direct my sequel scene where I'm not paused, but heard and seen. I timed my steps like silent code, pretending I had nowhere owed. A wandering path, a gentle hum to where the lunchtime sunbeams come. He always sits near window glass, chopsticks dancing, time won't pass. And I rehearsed my casual line, a hey, didn't see you, pure design. But there she was, one step ahead, unwrapping stories, turning red. She tilted close, his eyes aligned, and I just watched from down the line. No room for me in that cliche, the laughter melted lunch away. I took a turn and bit my lip, like detours mask a sinking ship. Two coincidences in play, but only one could truly stay. I showed up late to my own scheme, just back up cast in someone's dream. He didn't see the plan too shy, but plans like ours don't coexist. Only one gets seen, gets missed. So I retreat behind the bell and write it down, but never tell. Two coincidences, both too real, but only one got him to feel. My heart's at packed like untouched rice, too neat, too soft, too cold, too nice. And though I walked away intact, I left a wish I never packed. Still playing scenes that won't rewind. Three souls but only two aligned. Two coincidences collided, but only one got invited. I staged the walk, I timed the beat, but she was there already, sweet. He didn't know the steps I took, the lines I wrote, the breaths I shook. Next time I'll write a louder cue, now blend into the lunchroom blue. The chalkboard buzzed, the bell had rung. My voice still weak, my lungs half-strung. Returned from sick day isolation, expecting some small consolation. I scanned the room and there he sat. Same messy hair, same tilted head. He looked ahead, no second glance, no pause, no change, no circumstance. I clenched my sleeves, the chill still near, hoping someone might just care. But all I got was shifting chairs and filtered sun through classroom glare. I took my seat with practiced grace, forced a smile to match the space, the one between our distant frames, where I was girl and he was names. Just one you okay would do, one word to break the silence through, but he just breathed like I was missed, like Monday came and nothing missed. So I became my own disguise, with steady hands and tearless eyes. If he won't ask, then I'll pretend this chapter's fine without a bend. Yesterday I stayed in bed, counting stars above my head, while outside texts and memes flew by, but none with him, not one high. And now he's back within my view, a foot away but not quite true. His laughter skips across the floor while I rewrite what I came for. Just one you okay would do, one word to break the silence through, but he just breathed like I was missed, like Monday came and nothing missed. So I became my own disguise, with steady hands and tearless eyes. If he won't ask, then I'll pretend this chapter's fine without a bend. Maybe it's not meant to sting, maybe I just dreamed the thing. Maybe I expect too much from glances that don't mean as much, but I was gone and now I'm here, still not enough to bend his ear. So I will fold that wish away inside my book for some lost day. Just one you okay would do, even whispered soft and true, but I just sat in measured tone, in rows of desks completely alone. My laughter wrapped in sugar glass broke each time you let it pass. Still I played the healthy role, with cough drops and a heart on hold. Just one you okay could heal the gap I swore I wouldn't feel, but silence screamed and time stood still as I swallowed down the chill. Yet here I sit, the lesson learned. Some fires flare, some just get burned. He looked ahead, I looked behind. classes, cheers out loud. A playful game, or so they said, but every line turned hard to lead. I scribbled quick, a shaky hand, his name disguised, no contraband. A secret tucked behind a dash, inside the ink a silent flash. By homeroom bell the list was filled, top initials, hearts distilled. I scanned for mine among the lines, but M was hers and none were mine. He laughed and pointed down the chart while I rewrote my fragile part. The joke went on, applause grew wide, and I just smiled and stepped aside. I voted once, I cast my truth in paper folds, a nervous youth, but the result came back so clean, like I was never in the scene. No hint of me, no coded glance, just final scores, no second chance. It wasn't cruel, it wasn't wrong, just proof I never quite belonged. My vote was small but felt immense, a silent dare, a softer fence. But charts don't care for hidden signs, they crown the loud, erase the line. He tapped the board and joked around while I became the lost unfound. And though no one could see me fall, I felt a race beneath it all. I voted once, I cast my truth in paper folds, a nervous youth, but the result came back so clean, like I was never in the scene. No hint of me, no coded glance, just final scores, no second chance. It wasn't cruel, it wasn't wrong, just proof I never quite belong. Maybe that's how it's meant to be, some feelings live invisibly. I wore my heart in lowercase and watched it vanish, not disgrace. But now I know to write it bold, not keep it safe, not keep it cold. Next time though I don't wait and see, I'll sign the line, not wait to be. I voted once behind the glass, hoping something real would pass. But even silence has its weight when you're not named by twist of fate. I thought I'd feel at least a spark, but I just blended with the dark. The truth was clear but softly bruised, a girl who hoped, a girl who lost, unused. I voted once and that was me, no initials for the world to see, but I still counted deep inside, a love I lived, a vote I tried. Next time I'll speak, not disappear. Next time I won't just volunteer. He didn't know and maybe fine, but I still signed that name with mine. Laughter stacked in message heaps, stickers fly and memes explode, their rhythm on a private road. He drops a joke, the chat ignites, 100 hearts and neon lights. I tap it once, the blue check glows, then lock the screen before it shows. They talk like friends who never try, like breathing air, not asking why. I scroll and scroll but say no word, a ghost among the lines I heard. My name stays silent, no one calls, just digital electric walls. I could jump in, I could reply, but fear just whispers, let it slide. I read the thread, I watched it bloom, we're wrapped in blankets full of gloom. He lit the screen like fireworks sky something hype. But tonight I'll let it go and swim beneath the message flow. Not brave enough, not cold or shy, just stuck between the who and why. I laughed alone and that's still real, even if no one saw the feel. I read the thread, I saw the sparks, but left no trace, no question marks. He joked, they cheered, the thread went long, and I just hummed a silent song. The screen went black, my fingers still, as night pressed in against my will. Not wrong, not right, just in between, where voices pass and I'm unseen. I read the thread and felt the fire, but stayed outside the shouting choir. He doesn't know, he doesn't see the quiet fight inside of me. But maybe next time I'll press send, not just observe from start to end. Till then I'll dream in unseen tone, a blue check girl who's not alone. Slid closed with their soft hiss. I stepped inside the morning mist and found him laughing far ahead with someone else instead of red. The carriage shook, the station passed. He stood in gold, I blurred in glass. 2 meters wide, a world apart. He never saw my racing heart. We ride the same line every day, but his path bends a different way. I watched him joke, his voice aglow, while mine got buried down below. His laughter danced like painted light and made my corner dim despite the fact we're heading to one place. Still feels like we're in different space. Same train but not the same frame. I ride alone in someone else's name. His world's alive, a spinning stream, while mine just ticks like a muted dream. He's there, I'm here, but we don't align. Like I missed time, some secret sign. The train moves on, the gap stays wide. 2 lives that never coincide. The ads reflect against the pain. I catch my face, then turn again. He throws a look not toward my side, just through the world where I don't ride. She nudged his arm, he smiled and spoke, while I rehearsed the laugh I broke. And though the stop was drawing near, I wished to vanish, disappear. Same train but not the same frame. I ride alone in someone else's name. His world's alive, a spinning stream, while mine just ticks like a muted dream. He's there, I'm here, but we don't align. Like I missed time, some secret sign. The train moves on, the gap stays wide. 2 lives he won't see the fire I bring. I'll burn until my own bell rings. One day he might look back and scroll and see the edge of my control. Not center stage, but sharp and true, the girl who ran right out of view. I raced with hope beneath my breath, each step a shout he never met. The sun went down, the day replayed, but I stayed cropped, I stayed downplayed. His laugh still echoed through my lane while I walked home through cooling pain. He didn't know, he played no game, but still I blurred inside his frame. I raced for more and I still will, even unseen, I'm running still. He caught a pose, I caught a bird, but this is how the bold ones learn. He might not turn, might never see, but I won't wait eternally. Next time I'll frame my own acclaim, not fade inside somebody's frame. They shuffled names, a twist of fate. My number matched the dream I'd wait. Right by the window, second row, and next to me his name aglow. I mark the desk like sacred ground, with pens too neat and breath not sound. One glance away, just half a smile, I'd stay like that for quite a while. Then the bell and then the bag, he'd leave so fast, no pause, no drag. Before the chatter even rose, he vanished in his practice clothes. No see you, know what's for lunch, just silence packed into a hunch. The seat was close, the air was tight, but something faded from the light. I thought this seat would bring us near, but distance blooms when you're not here. He's close enough to hear my sigh, but far enough to never try. The space between us held my dream, but now it folds a muted theme. And every time he leaves too soon, my heart deflates like punctured balloon. I doodle stars inside the line while watching clocks refuse to shine. His shadow barely warms the chair, then disappears into the air. They ask me, lucky, huh, that view, but they don't know the shift in hue. When someone's there but not quite in, you start to wish you hadn't been. I thought this seed would bring us near, but distance blooms when you're not here. He's close enough to hear my sigh, but far enough to never try. The space between us held my dream, but now it folds a muted theme. And every time he leaves too soon, my heart deflates like punctured balloon. Was it me or just the tide? Did he sense the thoughts I hide? Maybe he was never meant to fill the seat where hope was spent, but still I traced our names in ink, a secret note he'll never think. While he escapes before the close, I stay and bloom in silent prose. I thought this seed would mean a start, but he just brushed past every part. I held my breath, I timed each day, while he just walked the other way. No drama, fights, or heavy scene, just vanishing in soft routine. And every bell that rings too soon leaves me alone beneath the moon. I thought this seed would bring us near, but dreams can't echo what we fear. He sits beside me, yes it's true, but that's not always breaking through. Still I'll stay bold, still I'll be seen among the rows of what might mean. He leaves too quick, I'll learn to stay and footsteps, tangled voices hushed. I found my spot third from the door, my eyes half dreaming, shoes on floor. Then came his voice so casually, a sorry toss like melody. He stepped ahead, that crooked grin, a moment short but loud within. He, him, paused, just laughed and stood like rules bent where the charm felt good. And I just smiled, too soft, too late, pretending I could translate fate. The boy I liked, the scene I drew, collapsed beneath the smile so true. Not cruel, not sharp, not distant, cold, just plain and friendly, brushed in bold. He cut the line and not my name, just skipped the part where hearts take aim. I stood behind a second slow in hopes he turned, but he won't know. I'm not upset, I didn't frown, just watch the daylight trickle down. He didn't mean to make me small, but still it felt like no one saw. I watched him buy the last sweet bread, the one I wanted gone instead. He bit and grinned, then waved a hand as if I'd fully understand. The friend zones paved in lines like these, in lunch queues and apologies. He called me, hey, not something new, not you look nice, just move on through. He cut the line and not my name, just skipped the part where hearts take aim. I stood behind a second slow in hopes he turned, but he won't know. I'm not upset, I didn't frown, just watch the daylight trickle down. He didn't mean to make me small, but still it felt like no one saw. Maybe I'm just in too deep for moments others barely keep. Maybe love's a longer wait than any line at 8:30. But still I hoped he'd feel the crack, the subtle ache that pulled me back. Instead he got his bread and smiled, and I just stood and stayed a while. He cut the line and passed me by with friendly grace, no reason why. And though I laughed, my chest caved in behind that grin I'd never win. The world kept moving quick and loud, and I got lost inside the crowd. He didn't mean to dim the light, but I still walked alone that night. He cut the line and cut no deep, but left a bruise I'd never keep. He's just a friend, I know that song, but feelings can't be proved by wrong. Next time I'll speak or step aside, not stand behind where dreams can't hide. It's not his fault, but here I start to skip the part that breaks my heart. Pen to the board like schoolyard dreams, a list of crushes, quirks and threats. Favorite habit bold in red, and so I traced what he had said. Laughs with hands that hide her grin, my chest went tight beneath the skin. Braids her hair when she's afraid, each word a blade perfectly laid. That's not me, not even near. I don't braid, I bite my fear. I laugh too loud, I talk too fast. I'm nothing like his second cast. And yet I stood there just the same, pretending not to read his name. But every line was carved so neat, it made my heartbeat miss a beat. He wrote her down without her name, a perfect sketch, a perfect frame. While I just watched and felt the slide of every hope I tried to hide. It wasn't cruel, it wasn't cold, just truth that shimmered sharp and bold. I smiled like I was still just fine, but he liked traits that weren't mine. Back in my seat, I tried to joke, but every laugh felt thin and broke. I twirled a pen, not strands of hair, still wishing I could fit somewhere. He passed behind me on the way, said nice work like it made my day, but all I heard was page and ink, and that Maybe she laughs like morning light, and I'm more thunder in the night. But even storms can shine and stay if someone dares to see that way. So I won't twist to match his lines. I'll keep my flaws, my tangled signs. And one day someone just might write my favorite, she's a wildfire bright. He wrote her down in gentle ink while I dissolved in thoughts, I think. The chalkboard buzzed, the halls went wild, and I just smiled, a practiced child. But deep inside, I knew the ache of wishing I could just remake the quirks I wear, the hands I hide, to match the girl that lives outside. He wrote her down.